What's up, everybody? My name is Gaming on 5, and I'm going to bring you through the entire process of me making my own custom Pokemon. I use Libre Sprite. For me, it's a really good spriting software, and yeah. So what we have to do, because I'm also currently making my own custom Pokemon fan game. So we're going to do new file, and what we want to do, we want to do 160 by 160. For the Pokemon fan game, this is the size you have to make it. Oh god, I hiccuped. Alright, and for me, I set this to 2 and always do black. Now, let me go ahead and pull up So I'll give you guys a reference of what a Pokemon would look like if we need to go to documents here. Let's just do a front. So I'll go ahead and use Axew. This is what Pokemon style is. What they do, stuff like this. Now for me, I don't. Here, I'll use this one. This is my style of Pokemon making. Now, as you can see, mine is different because I just use a thick line instead of pixelated. But it's still pixelated, so it works. Now, anyways, so my plan for this one is we are going to make it, so there's this one Pokemon that I was planning on making a while ago. This is going to be my Route 1 rodent, because I currently just have a Rattata. I'm going to put it as my Route 1 rodent instead of Rattata. So my plan for this one was it's an Armoredilo. So, first things first, we need to know that. So it's Armoredilo. Let me write that down. I'm gonna be here. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm gonna spell it Armoredilo. Like he has armor and Dillo. It'll make sense in a minute. So, first things first, let me pull up a reference real quick. Let me pull up Armoredilo. And yeah, it's an armadillo, not an armadillo. But yeah. Oh, they're kind of cute. Alright, so if I'm looking at them right, they have like a big bulbous like shoulder pads, a small head, and small legs, then a big armored body. So what we could do with that, and they roll up. So, what could we do with that? So it'd be a ground normal type for me. I think it's I'll do it a ground normal type. It's kind of hard to think. I'm trying to just think. What could we do? I think let's start with a head. So basically all it is a small little like bean shape, except a lot better than that. We'll make him like turn this way, facing like that, so I'll make his head So I'll make his, I so happen to own, let me see if I can find my glove. Yeah, there it is. I happen to own a drawing pad, which is really useful, because I'm not very good with the mouse. So if I just put on my glove and turn on my drawing pad, one sec. Alright, got it. So now what I can use is this big old pad and draw freely. Let me see. Yeah, see? Drawing freely. That's not my mouse. So what I can do is a small, yep, see? I could not do that with a mouse. So we're gonna do that, except a little more, yeah, like, that's perfect. That's good. That's an eye. Make a second one over here. Except not as, yep, there we go. Just bulge that out. There we go. Make him a little nose. Because armadillos have nose. It's weird. I don't really see any, like, here. Just for the occasion, sometimes I like to put it to 1. Just for those fine details. Like this. So on the reference picture I have, he has like an armored face. Like that. So we can put a small little mouth right there. I think that works. Oh, bless me. Oop. Okay. And real quick, go over here. Actually, I could just click a button. Change this to 1. I can do that. But also, grab this. There we go. So now it kind of looks like a little bit. Oh. Bumping myself so it's messing it up. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just going to use the mouse for a second to give it ears. Which we're actually, one sec. We are going to use 2 for this one. Like that. You guys can kind of see the vision. So now what we can do is with the drawing pad, is give him those giant shoulder parts. Like that. Yeah. He's huge. And right here, can make a little thing right there, so it's kind of like that's a part of his body. So what I'm getting from this is it's like a bunch of dots. So one of the references of minigun strapped to an armadillo. That's absolutely awesome. Anyway, so all I think I'm gonna do is actually just go ahead, get the 1, use the drawing pad, and do something like this. Then we're gonna have like a line right in the middle. Just kind of change up the texture because it's a good idea. There we go. There we go. So now it looks separate. That's better. So we're gonna stop right about here. Change its plating. It's kind of more like squiggly kind of jagged lines. Kind of like that. Not like that, but like this. Alright, you know what? It's a little bit hard, so I'm just going to use the mouse. Then just do little things like this. Do little something like that. Something like that. Yeah, looks good. And since the armadillo is most facing this way, all we have to do, and since his head's covering up most of the other side, all we have to do is just put the little top armor plates on it. Don't want to make him so he's armored, so we're kind of gonna give him kind of like, alright, you know what, yeah, let's just get to his legs, because I have an idea. So if his legs are like this, so if his legs are like that, then small little feet, something like that, except we're gonna erase because I think it's a little bit too thick. If it's a little bit too thick, you just erase part of it, kind of like that. It's not really harmful in any way, so it's just a little extra, yeah. So something like that, except he'll have armor right there, kind of right on top of his foot. That's not it at all. Kind of on top of his foot, like that. That, it's a little bit better. There we go. We can just do that. Perfect. But now what I can do is I'm not drawing over it in white, but I'm actually selecting it. So we can put it over here. A little bit like this. So like that. So he's got little, kind of look like cowboy boots. But other than that, he got little legs. One sec, I'm stretching. Alright, so he looks like this right now. So, oh, I don't know what it did. Okay. Over here, we're gonna add the curve to his body. So, let's go ahead, get out the pen again. And let's do a slight curve, just like, wait, no. It's gotta be a bit. Then the only thing that's over here is like stuff like this. Like that. Stuff kind of. Then kind of just line with it. Don't worry, we can color this in correctly. Because, yeah, like that. So it kind of looks like that. then what we can do is actually completely change my mind and just make him come start back over here. And I realized they have kind of a long tail, which is the perfect opportunity to make, since they're armored dillos, the perfect opportunity to kind of give it a little bit of a sword aspect. So something kind of like this. This just goes out like this. Something like that, yeah. And then, here on the back, I'll just go ahead and give him little bitty feet. Some over there you can't even see. Here, but I'll make a little line right there. So, let me just grab the eraser and do something like that. And like this. Yeah, looks about the same as the last ones. The only difference being this one isn't going to be armored. So if I just do a brush, change that down, all he's going to have is little toe gripper thingies and a little bitty toe on the side. That's about it, yeah, that's about it. I'll do that just for, there we go. That's about it for the little armadillo, except for the back. I'm going to just stripe his tail, kind of like this. And for the back side, I think I'm also going to stripe it, except we're also going to do one all the way down. And I think that's good for the first stage, because what I'm going to do is actually, what I'm going to do is give it a second stage, and maybe a third if I'm feeling like it. But this is the Armoreddilo. Okay. So colors are pretty basic, I would say. Like this. So we have a paintbrush, paint bucket. I think we need to make it sandier. And then add that. Okay. Yeah. So this, for this, like just the skin tone. So we'll put this over here too. But just for the skin, I think this sandy gray would work perfectly. Like that, yeah. Now, oh yeah. And in here we'll add a darker one. But otherwise we'll lighten that up. So, it's a normal ground type, which means we gotta give it like a pretty sandy color scheme. One thing you kind of want to do, I'm not saying it's necessary, but I like to do it, depending on what their typing is, give them a color scheme based off of it. And based on what their animal is, also give that their color scheme, because it makes more sense. So, this is what we have to do. Okay. Alright, stuff like that. Except, wait a minute, I just realized something. These are his ears. We're just gonna also pronounce the ear shape in this one a little bit more. Kind of like this. There we go. And do the same thing for this one. Except we shouldn't make that the ear. We should do the same sandy color. Yeah, sandy color like that, except get a really light pink. Just add that so it doesn't give me a warning. give it a small inside of the ear. Kind of like that. And be kind of cute if we just did that. No. We need to really tone Sandy down this pink to this color. Because it looked too, like, fairyish. Alright, so now what we're going to do is just go ahead and add the eye white stuff, whatever that stuff's called. Then we're just gonna add the color to the faceplate. Go with something similar, except like a more saturated. Then we can also make that the color of his armor on his. No, not that armor on his legs. And also, quick little change. We can add that as like armor on his tail, like that. Yes. And we may or may not have just found our second color for his front armor plates. So, my foot's asleep now and it hurts. Alright, so stuff like that, yeah. It's actually a very complex design, but it's really cool. Alright. And I think if we just sandy that up a little bit by pushing it over, we could make a good color. Not that. Make a good color for the middle section. Stuff like that. And if we wanted to real quick, if we want to actually go ahead and do this to that, this and this to that, do that there, so that kind of looks a little bit better. Alright, and I'll add a little fill in there right there. Alright, finally for the back plates, I think we should get a dark brown just for the back plates, specifically for the back plates, because I feel like this is what would be targeted most on this Armoredilo, and we really need to sandy that up a lot. The more like rounded, actually, there we go. Or even better. There we go. We did it. And actually, we should replace that with this little armor green we have right here. Because it's kind of not really giving the same vibes as this one. I really like this color. Actually looks better on the skin. A lot. But if that's the case, but if we're making it as our armor, then we shouldn't use it as the skin, because that could mistaken the armor for skin. And you know what? I really like it so much that we should probably also make the tail that color. Tail, I think, is finally, that's its final color. Alright, and really quickly, I do this for all my Pokemon. What I'm going to do is that. That's all I need to do. And just a little bit smaller. There we go. That's our Pokemon right there. Now all we have to do is export it as a PNG, not into the front, not there, not into there, Not in here. Not there. But in this one. We're gonna do this. So we're gonna call, so it's Armoreddilo. And I think actually I need to do this instead. Alright, we have Armoreddilo. Now what we're going to do is the same thing, except we're going to do 128 and 60. This is for the icons. So all I'm going to do is this. Put them into here. Scale them down a lot. Put them right here. Then put them over here. We'll stretch them out a little bit as this like a jumping icon. And we'll file, save this in where is it? In here as arm. I'm pretty sure that's how I spelt it. That's not. There we go. Alright. So guys, that's just about it. This is my process for making Pokemon. I'll get a reference. I'll know what I want to make it. Then I'll draw, experiment with some colors. Then save it as both of these. And now, if this video gets to what? 40 views, I will make a video about me adding this to my Pokemon game. Because I can definitely do that, and I know how to do that. And I can make it catchable with evolutions if you guys want me to. We can all do that in the next video if you guys want to. Alright. Peace!